excited to see from some of those players? Who do you think you're going to have available after this?
Well, the biggest thing we want to get out of, if we're talking specifically about young players, up in the defensive line, we had an opportunity to have no coaches on the field last Saturday, and we had plenty of corrections, when it was over. And what we hope to see out of them is to see them change the things that we've asked them to change and be more consistent. Now, those dogs will fight and they'll bite. There's no doubt about that. But now we don't need them to be biting the mailman. You know what I mean? Bite the bad guys. So we just want to see them. Undoubtedly, we'll see the effort, and that's what we've seen out of them. And we just want to see them, build some consistency and doing the right thing, and just see improvement.
When they lack that consistency, is it kind of like one great play on, one bad play off, or is it delineate itself a little different?
No, I mean, it just comes in all shapes and forms. I mean, let's just name some names here. If we talk about the Hubba and Bubba inside, we talk about the Davis boys inside. I mean, it's like you turn on the wind machine, and they just go. It's not so much off and on. It's just, again, their full understanding of their part that they play within the mass of 11 people. And that's where, at times, whether it's in the run game or their pass rush, things like that, being in the proper lane in the pass rush game, canceling the proper gap, that type of thing, that's what we need to see out of them.
With the lack of cornerback depth, do you guys have to handle that differently as far as the spring game format is concerned with not working certain guys too much?
We will have 2 corners in the game on every play. Not to be a wise ass about it, but I mean, we'll put 2 guys out on the field that will do their responsibility.
Where does newbie fit in that linebacker situation right now? How do you use it?
I think the outside situation right now with those backers, it's still it's still wide open. The good thing about it is we can say linebacker with plural this time around, and hopefully it stays that way, and then add again to the group when the freshmen come in, and we'll see what they can give us. But that group with Dedrick, Michael Rose, Newbie, and then of course Luke. They're all guys that played for us last year, and we've got to keep Michael Rose. He's got to keep himself healthy. Same thing with Marcus has got to stay healthy. Same thing with Luke, because we lost all those guys at one point in time last year, if not a couple at a time. Dedrick, knock on wood, it was kind of the Iron Man. He even played the Mike position. So at least we have numbers and some guys with experience in what we're doing, and every day is competition. I mean, it just like in life, people are evaluated, in whatever they're doing, whether it's out on the field, in the weight room, in the classroom, out on the streets or whatever. But we evaluate these guys day in and day out, and it's always an open competition for everybody.
Is newbie healthy right now?
I believe so for the most part. He banged up his thumb or something like that, but as for a football player, he's healthy, yes.
Are you expecting to have Kevin Williams back next season? I mean, I know he's 6-year injury stuff. I mean, is he going to be part of the deal next year?
I have no idea. I have no idea. And the best thing to do right now is talk about the people that we've got.
Is the mic open? Is the outside spots?
I think Bando, he comes to work every day with a hard hat on. Same thing with Chris Webber, comes to with his lunch pail every day. So, you don't want to tell a guy or make guys feel like, and the same thing with the outside linebacker question. I mean, they're stepping on eggshells or something like that. But, it's competition and it's healthy. So, everything's always open. You know, day to day, game to game. Again, the guys that are consistently making plays and doing the right things are the ones that play.
You mentioned a little bit about Dedrick. You know, people kind of assume he's a veteran. You know, he's only been here a year. He's coming into his second year, but he's played so much. I mean, what do you see in terms of growth for him going into year 2 now?
The thing with Dedrick, half the time you don't even know he's here. You know, because he's an ideal player from the standpoint that he lets his body of work, you know, do the talk for him. He's very, very conscientious about what he does. You can count on him when he's not perfect, just like anybody else. When he does make a mistake, you know that probably won't happen, you know, again, at least for another, you know, another week or something like that. But he just shows constant improvement in the way he plays.
Hey, we won't talk until Saturday. So when you think about this red-white game last year, when you walked into that for the first time, saw the crowd, what kind of opportunity is it? I mean, just for recruiting and everything to kind of showcase, you know, Nebraska football for a day like you guys get on.
Well, I think that's what it is. It's a chance to showcase Nebraska football. You know, people, especially when they're not from the Midwest or they haven't been here to Nebraska before, everybody has an opinion as to, you know, what Nebraska is, whether it be the university or just the state itself. And we really feel, and that's held true, at least through these first 2 recruiting classes that we've had, that if we can get a player here, we can get their parents here, it speaks for itself. If it's not for them, then so be it. But I think the fan base here, the facilities, the team that we have, the type of players, the opportunities that these guys have, because, you know, there's so much done with recruiting that has absolutely nothing to do with academics and with athletics. You know, it's about guys, you know, going to people's houses and watching movies with popcorn and things like that. And I mean, that stuff's crazy. If that's what it takes and that's going to wow somebody, then that's not what we're about here. We're about substance. And the university itself and the fan base specifically in football, and for all intents and purposes, all the sports. I mean, I think it's a great place, not only because we're here, but it's a fantastic place for young men to come. It's a great place for parents to leave their young men from a standpoint of what's put into the student athlete, from the athletic department standpoint, and then the type of football that we get an opportunity to play, and then, if I could be so bold, the coaching staff that we have, you know, that's interested in the person as well as the player.
I was just going to ask, what do you
Oh yeah, you haven't asked a question. Go ahead now.
When you look at the scrimmage tape, did you see any, I don't know, talking points or teaching points that stood out when you reviewed it with your guys?
Well, you know, yeah, a couple things. Number one, you know, we looked like we had improved in our pass defense. Was very, very disturbed about our run defense. We were very undisciplined in our gap responsibilities, both up front and in the second level. We did a better job than we had in the season with our leverage from our secondary and our fill points, but we lost leverage one time's too many. I did not like that at all. We gave up 5 runs. There was 2 for 17, 1 for 10, and I think another one for somewhere in between there, about 14. And it wasn't anything, and you know, not taking anything away from the offense, but it wasn't anything that we were beat on. We were just flat out of position. So that's not good, because one thing that we always start with is run defense, and as we're trying to grow, you know, within our pass coverage responsibilities, we need to be able to put that together. The one thing that we're really pleased about is, you know, it was obvious we hadn't gone live at all in tackling other than drills, and drills are just that. But conceptually, players got it. You know, you could see some things in the tackling from a standpoint that we've got to be mindful when we're doing these drills, that they're not drills, that they've got to actually have the right pad level. We were high a few times. We overstrode into the tackle, and we also at times didn't drive our feet all the time. But there were some really good things conceptually about our tackling.
Yeah, I don't remember very many missed tackles, maybe a couple, but
Yeah, other people were there. You know, other people were there. Okay.
I was gonna say, secondary-wise, what do you want to see out of those young guys as a group? You know, coming in on Saturday, because it'll be a good opportunity for some of those newbies to kind of get in there and mix it up a little bit.
Yeah, well, everybody played last Saturday. We just want to be sound. You know, that's the big thing. You know, Coach Riley's infamous quote is "Take away the deep and tackle the short." And big thing for the upperclassmen, the guys that have had experience, is communication, which there's always a lot of that going on, and that's half the battle. Getting lined up properly with the proper leverage, playing in the proper leverage, being on top of coverage, switching routes off when it's appropriate, underneath, making sure that you know, we're banging receivers, no free releases, and then when the ball's thrown, everybody getting to it.
you guys tackling at all until Saturday? Tackling again?
No, it won't happen until Saturday. Yeah. All right. Thank you.